Space station as exploration. A crucial starting point in deep space carries all of humanity's hopes and dreams. When humans began to life in space, building a larger space station and creating a purely space-based economy. Space drones will transport goods between space stations. Food can be grown. There can even be two. The hotel will host the Chang'e Celestial Gate event and solar eclipse, and welcome the astronauts returning from Mars. In the next video, let's take a look at the future. The interstellar spacecraft cryogenic refueling station and the Moon, Earth space station and Mars colony. The design concept of the Xingxing Psi mining station space station and cryosleep technique. Space station orbits Earth. Operating space drones to transport supplies between space stations. This marks the beginning of the space age economy. The beginnings pave the way for space farm stations that grow food. 30 years later, the construction or completion of the rotating artificial gravity 7-star ground and military space station. The first space war may still occur. Now let's embark on this journey into the future together, starting from 203. From the decommissioning of the International Space Station in 2000 until 2010, a large rotating ring was built in 170 years or more. Space station. This future space station will have its own atmosphere and lakes. After evaporation, clouds are formed. Rain. With the space station, its retirement will eventually lead it to sink into the muddy corner of the Central Pacific Ocean. The place is called to replace spacecraft graveyards. Space stations from different countries and companies orbit around. Orbiting the Earth. The Starship spacecraft, with a diameter of 18 meters, is large enough to become a space station, and is currently working on the construction of the second-generation space station. Shoot larger components. Space stations around the Moon are like post offices in the solar system. They are spaceships. Transit station. The spaceship will carry cargo. The cargo and passengers are transported to the space station and then carried to Earth by smaller spacecraft. SpaceX launched its space station into Earth orbit using the Starship spacecraft. There, scientists can conduct research in a microgravity environment. Advanced space rocket technology. Perhaps on another space station. It is a stream the size of a golf ball. A celestial body collided with the spacecraft. This led scientists to begin planning to equip the space station with lasers to detect and deflect unexploded ordnance. Comets. Possible. Micrometeoroid. Another danger facing the space station comes from cosmic radiation, which can interfere with calculations. The machine caused memory bit flipping, resulting in software crash scenarios. Miscalculation. SpaceX's Star Station orbits. Earth operates its cryogenic storage fuel and machinery reserves. The component has been refueled and repaired in space. Starships can perform multiple space exploration missions without returning to Earth. Engineers working on the interplanetary space station on weekends. Return to Earth. The advent of orbital refueling stations categorized spacecraft into three types, the first being those used for launch, and the spacecraft returning to Earth. Because these types of spacecraft need to break through the thick atmosphere they require, equipped with additional heat shield fuel storage. The second type is a spacecraft specifically designed for storage and landing thrusters, designed for air travel in a vacuum. The third type is the landing space shuttle, which is a smaller type of aircraft. The spacecraft is only used to transport cargo and passengers from the orbital space station. Moon and Mars. Surface. There, spacecraft only need to break through the thin atmosphere. Chefs on Earth became space chefs on the space station. Cook agricultural products grown in microgravity and then send them back. Earth offers culinary experiences to customers in a luxury restaurant under a microgravity modified environment. The change in plant growth patterns has brought about changes in the land. The unique flavor and texture that cannot be achieved on a ball might be questioned by some. Why do rich people eat this kind of food? Foods grown on Earth and their health benefits. What are the benefits? Plant cells on the space station are larger and have higher concentrations of antioxidants. When cooked with other ingredients, it produces different reactions and showing different nutritional components. Because food grown in space is exposed to higher levels of cosmic energy for extended periods. Therefore, some people have questioned its safety due to the radiation. A type of grape has been successfully grown on the space station, and the first batch of space wine has also been produced. They were sent back to Earth. The Earth government approved the first baby born outside Earth. This baby was born in the medical module of the space station. Believe now. Doing it this way might be safe. We need to understand comprehensively how humanity will use space as a second home in the future. The government space station uses cameras and facial recognition to track astronauts' activities. Their screens every 5. It will be screenshotted every second. The space station uses an artificial intelligence system based on individual data and interactions. Models for predicting and managing potential conflicts among crew members. Commercial space stations track crew members. In this respect, it is even more. A more relaxed approach will allow for the acquisition of more trained individuals, favored by astronauts and scientists. Some small space station factories are orbiting the Earth and operating autonomously by robots. Of course, transporting raw materials from Earth and producing them in a microgravity environment is much better than products such as high-efficiency batteries may be returned. And then there's regenerative medicine because 3D printing of biological organisms in space. Indian human tissue was created to supply the Earth. Use. In addition to autonomously maintaining the space station, space farms can also be used for other purposes. The use of drones to deliver food to other space stations has begun. More farm stations and larger space stations are being built around the Moon and Mars. The empty farm is also being designed to include a vegetable farm and a drinking water source, feed production bases and meat farms. With space, the economy began to take shape, and the first solar system currency was introduced to various space colonies and space stations, separate from the less stable Earth currency. The first military space station equipped with stealth technology was launched. Nano-engineered metamaterials can bend the space station. The surrounding electromagnetic waves are adjusted by the dynamic coating, visual appearance and heat output to match its weakly. The surrounding environment thus makes the air. Stealth of the station. The space garbage stations built in Earth orbit are for intercepting and capturing space debris and recycling it, and then transformed back into new materials. Space archaeology at Space Junkyard. Scientists studied old satellites and the debris of the spacecraft. Analysis of the impact of space on materials. A delivery drone veered off course and crashed into another spacecraft. The station caused casualties among the passengers. With all the victims dead, people began to wonder if it was an accident or something else. Storage. Meaning. Or. This may be the first instance of deliberate sabotage of the space station. A new space station orbiting the Moon has launched a spin thruster system around the space station. The ring begins to rotate to achieve emptiness. Artificial gravity field of the space station. The space station will then be converted into an emergency medical center for the Moon. Human services requiring emergency medical care under Earth's gravity save time on return trips. Time required for the ball. A deep space research station is studying other planetary moons and small. The planet's geomagnetic conditions are on the space station with 300. The crew members learned that the weapons had been brought to the spaceship for safety reasons, and a disturbance occurred among the personnel maintaining order. An astronaut carries a personal device equipped with uncontrolled artificial intelligence. Boarded the space station. The virus infected the artificial intelligence system aboard the space station, which Ski believed was not the case. People on the space station. So he started to shut down the life support system. Forced the crew. Researchers investigated astronauts to determine if manually regaining control was a method of. The virus is still the same. Human intentional act. The mysterious disappearance of an astronaut has sparked an investigation into the government space station following the first. Reports of space killings have sparked panic in space. Station spread. The Lunar Freight Elevator project is facing delays and construction difficulties. The plan is to establish something in lunar orbit. A small space station cargo ship was docked there. Then the elevator transported the cargo to the lunar surface. A plan is in place to build a something at the bottom of the elevator. Lunar Maglev High-Speed Railway Station, Hall. The largest zero-gravity space hotel. It operates in geostationary orbit and orbits the Earth once every 24 hours. This is a 7-star space station hotel with a capacity of missing information. 35 movie theater chairs. Equipped with seat belts. Rotating section of the space station. This allows passengers to experience gravity in space. And zero-gravity yoga. Whenever a celestial event occurs, tourists flock to this hotel to watch the comet. The event includes parties featuring star showers, solar eclipses, and a small interstellar museum exhibition. Showcases meteorite samples and artifacts from different space missions. The death in space sparked a cultural conflict, with Earth-based religious demands calling for the body to be brought back to its rightful owner, their birthplace. However, the conflict between the old and the new traditions, it did not cause a space war. Artificial intelligence system on the lunar space station, interpreting the erroneous reward system for a space station as a hostile act. A small space station orbiting the moon served as a temporary court. The initial purpose of building this space station in a location far from Earth's jurisdiction was to protect enterprises, industry in the month, territorial claims on the globe. But now the law, the scope has expanded to include the weaponization of artificial intelligence regulations and the monitoring of cross-contamination between organisms. However, not all space agencies and private companies comply with these regulations. Workers' rights cases are also on the rise as a result of the increasing space. The people working at the station depend on supplies sent from Earth to the moon for their livelihood. Their control by companies and institutions has created an extreme imbalance of their own power. The lack of maintenance of the working environment has led to inhumane conditions. Living conditions. 1. Space station with giant rotating ring structure orbiting Mars. Trial runs begin on artificial womb technology to allow for external pregnancy and gestation. A space hotel now. Rooms were provided for 700 Earth retirees. It provides a panoramic view of the Earth during a golden century. In a weightless environment, they also remain unchanged in their movements, being able to move without feeling too much pain. Space stations are being built in the asteroid belt beyond Mars. These space stations will be used by Martians to study comets and asteroid. It will become a base for asteroid mining operations. The first self-contained, enclosed space station has been operating around Mars for 2 years. It doesn't need to be from Mars or Earth. Instead of using conventional life support equipment, they utilize experimental biological regenerative life support systems. A highly efficient bioengineered plant and algae system for recycling air and water. Food production system. Due to the use of Biolamp space station. Internal bath. Bathed in light blue from bioluminescent genes extracted from plankton and jellyfish were implanted into. The new host produces biolight. Mars space station begins cloning extinct animals on Earth. Meanwhile, due to the majority of space stations, the demand for naturally grown foods on Earth is huge, as food is now grown in space. A black market based on space smuggling has emerged, smuggling goods packages, including technology, minerals and luxury foods, etc. All have strict biological regulations and controls. There are rumors that it came from the moon. Strange rocks from Mars were smuggled back to Earth. There are also smuggled biological transits and in to escape Earth in space. Weapon technology developed for regulation and taxation. Mars. A small study of the outer small star belt. The space station experienced a series of malfunctions due to 5 technical life support failures. They are too far away. The ship probably won't be able to arrive in time. Their only chance of survival is to enter forced hibernation. By lowering the temperature of the space station, lower oxygen levels to induce hypoxia, then use chemical methods to induce. Guide astronauts into cryogenic hibernation. When humans die on the space station, they will be recovered. Using space. Nothing will be wasted. The class struggle on the space station intensifies, and the differences between people grow wider. Gravity gained by the class. It's different from life support. Space station. The relatively wealthy residents. People demand the right to areas with higher gravity, such as those located in rotating rings. Further outward regions and different areas of the space station. The atmospheric composition and air quality vary in these regions. As for those who committed crimes against the state or performed poorly, the people were placed in the most basic living conditions, life support system and gravity zone. A mining space station located in the asteroid belt. Miner. They started a strike demanding better working conditions and faster pay from companies around the world. The company provides life support supplies. Indicate the cost of transporting goods. Space station staff claim the company will shut down. Stop transporting supplies until workers return to their jobs. Mars authorities plan to intervene to help the miners. For unknown reasons, a certain meteor-like phenomenon occurred for the first time. The aging population seems to be accelerating, and the crew members appear to be getting old rapidly. Pathological indicators. The crew members may have been exposed to a previously unknown form of cosmic radiation. This impact on human DNA was caused by some strange celestial event. Cosmic radiation caused. A newly built robotic space station was discovered. It was launched into Jupiter's orbit, beyond Mars. This space station is an extinction conservation site. The vault stores digital knowledge, human DNA, and seeds from the Earth. There are rumors of a small private business in the area. The star mining station discovered signs of biogeography, namely microscopic features on asteroids. Creatures are born when they arrive on a suitable planet. Life. Then the astronauts began bringing the samples to the space station. A dermatologist and an alien disease expert were from. Before Earth is sent to mine on an asteroid, workers' skin conditions are checked. 6. A month has passed without any news from the outpost space station. The area around the space station has become a no-fly zone. Rumors. It is claimed that military spacecraft are stationed nearby. The ship also carried a body that was taken from the space station for medical research. Return. Rumors circulated that a miner had left the space station before the medical team arrived. From. There are over 100 manned space telescope stations around the solar system, from Venus and Mars to Jupiter. Astronomers and astrobiologists on these launched space stations are observing distant stars, and galaxies, and capturing images of Western exoplanets and other star systems. These images contain enough detail to identify surface features. Signs of microbial life. Astronomy on the largest telescope station the Interplanetary Imaging Space Station. Scientists are detecting gravitational waves, dark matter, and dark energy. The Mercury Space Station is researching possible new methods for utilizing solar energy and developing small mirrors based on Dyson sphere technology. The largest rotating structure space station in history begins. It was built to have its own artificial atmosphere and weather system. In this Dyson sphere-like artificial biosphere world, the glowing gas overhead will be an artificial internal sun. The space station is large enough that the water from even a tiny lake would evaporate and form clouds. Rain. Humanity is taking control of its weather, energy supply, and life support. The support system is in this ring. Humans living on the World Space Station may have the potential to become a Type 1.5 Kardashev civilization. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment, and share to show your support. See you next time.